Hey everyone, welcome back to Crypto Cash. Thank you so much for joining me here. Hope you're having an amazing day. We're taking a quick look here at OP, seeing what's going on with optimism. I am fairly optimistic with this little push here, seeing what's going on. No pun intended, but maybe just a little. If you're new to the channel, not a financial advisor, hope you can learn something here today. We're going to go ahead and take a quick look, obviously, at this breakthrough. And again, it's not monumental, but it's still pretty important because there is a definitive, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 days at the last 10 trading days that we saw the price retest this level, and now it broke through. Coincidentally, Bitcoin is doing fairly well for itself. There's that, of course, that's a key characteristic, but it's one of the few altcoins right now actually doing well. So I want to pay attention to this, keep this on our radar, see what's going on. Thanks again to our community members for those who are helping us grow our Twitter, but also more important, those who are requesting and interacting too. It's great to be able to kind of communicate with my members and or followers here. So great stuff there. Quick little heads up too, we do have an awesome day trade and swing trade opportunity through our Crypto Cash Premium. And this is our Premium Plus here. We took some ETH profits, some XRP profits, some BNB profits, 12% in 20 hours. That's not bad at all. Same thing with our Premium too. Yesterday was a really good day for our swing trades. Take a look at this. We got nice 4.5% on spot. That's huge for render. In other words, we took 25% in 4 hours on a 10x leverage trade. Same thing with Bitcoin as well. Just took 3 days to hit our 26%. So not bad if you ask me. Congrats again to our community members for that awesome benefit, right? All part of being part of something greater. So again, thanks again for your support over the years. Those who have been members and following me for quite some time, ever since I created this channel, it's really awesome to be able to do that. Now, let's take a look here, though, at what's going on. So enough other stuff. Let's go ahead and take a look here. And first of all, we're not out of the woods yet. We want to recognize that we've got some key level resistances coming up here. So we're halfway to 50 on the RSI. That's typically always a resistance level. We do have a nice swing here for the MACD, finally, for the first time in some time. We have had some previous swings before, but they haven't lasted very long. The previous uptrends or MACD convergence, if you will, all fizzled out. So that's why we don't want to get ahead of ourselves right now. We see the price shooting up. That's nice. Doesn't mean you just got to FOMO in. You may want to consider waiting for the price to pull back to that key level support and bounce off that level. There's a chance that could be a thing, right? So we don't want to get too ahead of ourselves here. The key that we want to pay attention to, of course, is this level here, this previous support. In other words, where the price action held for about 5 or 6 days in a row. Well, 5 or 6 days out of roughly 7 to 10 trading days there. Very similar to this, only the inverse. That's going to be a resistance level. So the price continues to go higher. You can expect somewhere in the range of 138 to 140 as a round number to essentially be a strong resistance range. And the main reason why is because that was the most recent low before we dumped. And obviously this was a Bitcoin dump here on June 10th. We recall that. But generally speaking, that occurred and OP couldn't hold, right? So it wasn't very optimistic at that time. So what we want to look at is a few things here. Let's go and draw some Fibonacci retracement levels, kind of see. I get the question on this here a lot too, like, what's the best fib levels to draw out? Well, we want to kind of look at some larger time frame stuff. We can obviously draw some smaller ones out. These larger ones are important here because it really helps us get perspective of the last couple of weeks versus just the last couple of days. Because again, if you trade day to day, then obviously Fibonacci retracement levels on smaller time frames make sense. But if you're swing trading or just generally, kind of longer term holds that might last more than 24 hours, this is the key to do that. Take the most recent high to the most recent low. Okay, so that's essentially what we're looking at. Coincidentally, this support level that I just drew out here, basically as a resistance rather, is also a resistance level 0.382 on Fibonacci. So $1.46 is a key level here. Sorry, $1.14.6. I apologize, misspoke there. So 114.6 is essentially the key level here that we want to pay attention to. The price pulls back. That should be a bouncing point because it's a previous resistance. All right, so on the daily, that's kind of where we're looking at there. Let's quickly note all moving averages are above the price action. So we do have some resistances here at about 125 currently for the 20-day SMA. Okay, that's an important number to recognize because that is something we want to pay attention to. Coincidentally, we can also see here 0.5 on Fibonacci creating an initial resistance. There's a good chance if we break through that, that could be the key level support we want to rely on. But generally speaking, 0.5 on Fibonacci is a very, very common characteristic for the price gravitating towards that level and consolidating at that point. Okay, so it'd be great to be able to build a volume profile at 122, which is roughly where that level is at. Okay, so taking a look here at the 4 hour. Quickly note, we are hitting 70 on the RSI. Bitcoin's also a very similar circumstance here. You can see Bitcoin just broke through 70 on the RSI. So at this point, we could find this to be a point of contention. In other words, the price could reject at that level. It makes sense. It already kind of has at this 122 range. So keep in mind that might be a stronger resistance than we'd like to see. We got a MACD convergence here as well. So looking good, but you got to recognize this uptrend has to discontinue soon. We're at an 8 on TD sequential. Coincidentally, Bitcoin's also at an 8 as well. So if we see a pullback, which is very common at the 9, you'll see the price turn itself around or consolidate. So take a look at here. This is a previous example. Price comes all the way down to a 9, TD sequential. What do you know? Runs up to an 8 here, potentially another 9. So if we see another 4 hours continuation at this level, there's a decent chance we will see a pullback, because it wouldn't make a ton of sense for it to break through this resistance level the first attempt. Okay, again, most resistances can be broken. It's just rare for it to happen the first time because there's not enough volume. But basically what happens right now, the shorts are getting a little concerned and they're probably considering adding to their long position and switching on over. And when that happens, you get these short squeezes that occur. It doesn't usually happen the first time. Typically second, third, or fourth could occur. So again, with us being overextended going into that resistance level, I wouldn't say pessimistic, but I wouldn't say I'm optimistic. Again, there's that pun in this price getting broken initially. It would make sense to pull back to this level, consolidate, and bounce. So to me, I always typically like to set alerts for a price point that's lower than the current, essentially a retest of the previous high to establish itself as a new low. Okay, so because that's ultimately what you want, right? We want this uptrend to establish a new higher low. If the new higher low is a lower price point we can get into right there at a better value, then the next retest will not only break, but you'll be profitable in that trend. Okay, so we're going to look at OP again here as soon as on our radar for our swing trades, possibly even our day trades. We can maybe add that to our Premium Plus. But taking a look here though at the 4 hour, generally speaking, we're mostly positive and truly bullish, but we are overextended. Again, keep in mind, overextensions are commonly a very strong turning point, okay? So we're overextended, there's a bottom line there. We got a nice little reset here on the 1 hour, so keep in mind we could see another 7 hours continuation upwards. So it does kind of hold within those 4 hour candles. So if we see a 9 on TD sequential in the 4 hour, there's a good chance we'll see that pullback, but that'll put us close to a 9 here on the hourly. You see 2 9s in a row in the 1 hour and the 4 hour, that's combination for a perfect reversal, okay? It's rare for the price to continue. Again, if Bitcoin shoots up 28,000, different story, OP will probably follow. But if Bitcoin continues to go sideways at 27.2, 27, we should experience a pullback here to this next level. I'm not saying to short that, but I am telling you if we hit a 9 on TD sequential on the hourly and we're at a 4 or we're at a 9 also on the 4 hour, there's a decent chance that a short might be much more viable at that point. What also we want to look at here, Ichimoku cloud is going to be all green lights here. In other words, do not close your long position just yet. We also want to note as well that this year, if I recall correctly, we are having a nice amount of volume in the last 24-hour period at 116. So that does reaffirm that little support level. Exactly the reason why I put my alert there, because if the price comes back down to that level, that would be a great place to add to your position for either dollar cost average or, more importantly, just another long position. But we do want to reevaluate. We don't want to just jump in arbitrarily because we set an alert. Okay, so please recognize that. Just because I set that alert at 116 doesn't mean you just jump in there blindly. Okay, so that's roughly where we're at. We are looking very good here for optimism. Again, feeling optimistic on optimism. OP looks pretty good. And I think generally speaking here at this point, it would make sense for a pullback to occur first. Because not only is Bitcoin overextending itself on the 4 hour, we're also seeing that here as well in OP kind of following suit. So be careful, be cautious. That's essentially what we're looking at there. Help us grow our Twitter if you could, please, over here on Cash Trading. Link down below, of course. And stay abreast on technical news, fundamentals, the whole 9 yards. It's really awesome to be able to kind of experience this interaction with our community. So great to be able to kind of have that next level. Thanks again to all our supporters and our first 100. Really appreciate you. Hope you have a great rest of the day. We'll see you on the next video. Take care.